5 years ago, Anthropic didn't exist. Today, 8 of the Fortune 10 are customers. It scaled from idea to global provider in under 60 months. To lock in that market position, the company has confidentially submitted a draft S-1 to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the first formal step toward an initial public offering. Anthropic's valuation spiked from $0 to $965 billion today, following a $65 billion round, surpassing OpenAI. Overlaying revenue shows a steeper curve, jumping from $10 billion last year to $47 billion by May 2026. These metrics indicate that Anthropic is no longer operating as an experimental startup. The company is establishing a permanent, real-time corporate institution. Wall Street expects listing activity to accelerate. Goldman Sachs projects 2026 U.S. IPO proceeds could reach $160 billion, a fourfold increase over last year's levels. This area chart shows the scale of what's coming.
Between Anthropic, OpenAI, and SpaceX, nearly $4 trillion in market capitalization could be introduced to public investors in a single window. SpaceX's inclusion in this wave means the public markets are being asked to price both the future of orbital transport and artificial intelligence simultaneously. This historic concentration of capital is creating intense friction between the companies that once worked together to build these systems. In Silicon Valley, the high financial stakes are forcing a rewrite of early industry alliances. For years, the foundational partnership of the industry was Microsoft's $13 billion investment into OpenAI, a deal that gave Microsoft the exclusive right to integrate GPT models into its enterprise software. At Build 2026, Microsoft moved to end that dependency, launching Project Polaris, an in-house AI model replacing GPT-4 in GitHub Copilot. This updated flowchart signals independent operation. A $3 trillion enterprise cannot rely on one external vendor for its reasoning engine. This is a structural break. The cooperative models that defined the first years of the AI boom are being replaced by independent, competitive silos. While software alliances break in the boardroom, a second bottleneck is forming in the physical world. AI requires massive, constant computation. This map displays 140 planned U.S. data centers. Current analyses suggest that up to half of this capacity will face delay or cancellation by the end of 2026. The primary barriers are the long lead times for industrial transformers and the difficulty of securing connections to the aging national power grid. Anthropic has responded by securing direct private energy agreements. They've partnered with Amazon and Google to lock in 10 gigawatts of dedicated capacity, bypassing the public grid entirely to ensure they can continue to train new models. Physical infrastructure now dictates the AI economy's growth. In this environment, the limits of the technology are defined by the availability of electricity and concrete. The competition for artificial intelligence has become a heavy industrial arms race, centered on the management of heat and energy. American companies currently hold the lead in IPO valuation and infrastructure access, but that lead is being met by aggressive regulation in Europe and rapid infrastructure scaling in China. The decisions made this year regarding data center locations and power agreements will determine the economic map of the next 20 years. In this era, the outcome depends on absolute control over compute power and the physical energy grids that sustain it.